Welcome to Proven. My name is Clay Croft, and today we are talking about getting ready for overlanding. This could be very exciting for you. This might be your first time that you're going to go out overlanding. Maybe it's the first time this season, or maybe you're going to take the plunge and do something big like go international or leave for a long period of time. So getting ready for overlanding is kind of a loaded statement, but the process of getting ready, whether it's a weekend warrior trip, a 10-day trip, or month-long international trip, a lot of it's the same. It just breaks down into its scale. So the big thing to do is to create a plan for your trip. Like I said, weekend warrior to international 3-month trip, doesn't matter, you have to create a plan. And this plan basically boils down to consider your destination. Where are you going? What does it look like? What is the weather like? What are the conditions that you're trying to encounter or avoid? What are the roads like? Are you going to be trying to do a lot of long distance travel to get to this destination and around it, or is it going to be a lot of trail work? This destination is going to dictate a lot of your future planning of your trip. So next would be to define your travel group. Who's going with you? So after you've considered your travel group, you've decided who's going and who isn't going, look at those folks and decide, are there some skill sets that need to be acquired before going on this trip? Now, if you're going on a weekend camping trip, do you really need a wilderness first responder 10-day medical class? No, not necessarily. Would it be awesome to have? For sure. But is it going to be a go, no-go decision because everyone in the group is not a woofer? No. Go on the trip. If you're going for, say crossing some really ambitious expedition in Antarctica, maybe it's best that everybody has a woofer certification before you decide to go on that trip. These are all the range of considerations. What they are to you is up to you. Make sure that you at least identify the skills that you think you need or don't need before you head out on one of these trips. So after you've fully considered your travel group, you're going to consider your vehicle. What are you going to take? Is it going to be the motorcycle, or is it going to be the SUV or the pickup or the truck with the trailer? That's up to you based on all those other things that we've already talked about. And then once you have made that selection of the vehicle that's going to suit your needs the best, then you need to go through that vehicle. You need to look for repairs and improvements. So the repairs are always first. Always do anything that you need to make the vehicle mechanically sound, and then you go and do your improvements from there. Don't take a vehicle or don't spend money on a vehicle for, say, put a light bar on there when you know the differentials are bad. Make sure that the diffs are good before you ever put a light bar on something because you want it, It's those types of considerations, priorities over wants. Make sure that the repairs are done, then make the improvements. And the improvements should be with a full focus on making the livability or the safety of the trip better, either for the people or the vehicle itself or the environment they'll be traveling through. So once that's established, you've got your repairs and your improvements identified and completed, then you can go into your gear and equipment that you need for your trip. That's also a huge topic, and we'll do a video on that in itself. But basically the gear and the equipment, the gear for the truck and the equipment for the people, or however you want to put it, is going to be the necessary items that make the trip successful. And it's usually the stuff that goes into the vehicle or on the people, or is used to feed those people. So the very last item on the list of preparing to go overlanding is to actually leave on your trip. Set a date and leave. I have seen and talked to hundreds of people that have said, I'm going to go on my first overlanding trip as soon as I have my first refrigerator, or as soon as I have this light bar or this or that. Go on the trip, make a plan, and leave. You can always come back, make improvements to it, but start getting your experience. Get a good outline, get a good plan going, and go on your trip. So getting ready for an overlanding trip can be something that is easy or really complex. It just depends on the trip. And take it from me, sometimes I overthink my weekend warrior trip and underthink my big trips. It's just part of going through the motions of getting out and overlanding. The best thing that you can do though is go through these plans at least briefly, and it'll get you off on the right foot.